So you know, we got the engine pretty much ready to go. We just we're waiting for the lift plate. It's gonna come in a couple days. You're not gonna need the headers. You're gonna have to use another one. You're not gonna fit in the cutlass or whatever, the Gbody. Then what I did was I took off the shaft. You're not gonna need that, or at least the one for the truck. You're not gonna use that. You're gonna use the one from the car. And the kick pedal, remember, you want to keep it. So that's what I got right there. It's over. I'll show you right now. I'll show you right now. So here goes the Gbody. And on this part, since we're waiting on the lift plate, we're gonna go ahead and start taking this apart. But before I do that, let me show you the pedal. So yeah, you're gonna want to keep the pedal from the truck. And what else? Let me see here. The battery, you want to keep the battery. But so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the battery and then the radiator. I'm taking off the radiator first, so the battery's out, just in case, you know, no electricity problems. And then to drain the radiator, if you're not, you know, if you don't know, you know, just twist this and it'll come out right there. I kept it hood and I saved it. I don't know if you can see or whatever. Like I said, this is gonna be a budget thing, so I gotta try and save everything. I'm trading the engine actually, but anyways, we'll talk about that later. Then you take off. You're gonna want to take this off. The screws are right there. You want to save everything. And next thing that's gonna come out, well, the radiator pretty much. There's a couple screws here, and on the bottom, you take those out, and this is gonna come off right here. All right, people. So this is basically gonna come off. Will come out. It's pretty much out. I just wanted to pinpoint some tools that I feel that you should know or whatever. But so like this right here, if you can see it, it's pretty stripped, and that's because I just did that. Well, not stripped, but it was about to get stripped. But my point is, and the reason why I'm even making this little segment or whatever you want to call it is you know, like if you're using a regular one, this is not the regular one. This is the more advanced one. I tried using this one and it still would slip or start whatever stripping. But my point is, if you can get one of these pipe wrenches, and this one did the trick right here. So you just, you know, tighten it up and you twist it and it came right out. So the bottom one's out, this one's out. The last thing I gotta do is take this out right here, and this is out. Alright, so the next step I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Then probably start taking little pipes and little wires off and all that. And yeah, pretty much it, bro. Alright, so here is a quick little recap of what I just did. I took this off, the steering, all the little pipes. I actually cut this. I just marked it just so that I know I cut it, so that, you know, whatever. Took this off. This was here, this was there. I just started basically taking off all the pipes and like, well, like the rubber piping and all that. Alright, continuing part 2. Before I go any further, we're gonna have to go under the car. So you're gonna have to lift the car up enough for you to go under. Make sure you know, put little stands, put the jack. Also, don't just rely on the jack. And you want to put the emergency brake on. I got this, you know, I got a jack on the other side and another stand just to be safe. You're gonna have the handbrake on, but at the same time, you want to just put these little square blocks just to play it safe. Alright, we're gonna have plenty of things to unbolt. Alright, first of all, these are gonna have to get unbolted so that you can take out the shaft. To take off the shaft, you can see over there. Let me see if I can focus in a little bit better. There you go. These 4 screws, they're gonna have to come out, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab this and pull it out. But remember, you might want to put something on here because you don't want it to fall on you. Another thing you want to remember is you're probably gonna need a plug
you can either just get an old shaft and cut it, you know, somewhere around here and put it back in there, or they sell them, I think, plastic, and you plug that because it's gonna leak. What I did is I tried to drain it a little bit, you know, from the pan. But another thing is you're gonna have to take out that there, and there's another one on the other side. I don't know if you can see it, and that goes for the other side itself. So I'm trying to get a back view of it. It's gonna be this that's connected to the manifold. I'm not sure what you call it, but long story short, it's gonna have to come out. There you go. Follow it all the way on the other side. There's another 2 screws. You're gonna might wanna WD-40 them because they're pretty tough. After that, you're probably gonna have to take off the starter, the wire to the starter. You're gonna want to do that too. Just, you know, I'm not sure if it has to, but most likely you do. And there's another little pipe somewhere on the other side. I'll try to film it right now when I get to the other side, but that's pretty much it on the bottom. So look for wires or any other little connectors that might have to come out. Maybe like right here on the transmission. I don't know if, oh, there you go, right there. You might want to take those out too. It's a lot of things. So here we go, and I'll get back to you. So look, all this was the wiring right here. Now the trickiest part of the wiring would probably have been the not tricky, but it was kind of hard for me to find. It took me a day, but it was the transmission, the one that connects to the transmission, which is this one right here. And it went all the way back, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then, you know, my friend, he just told me, and he's like, oh, it's probably the transmission. So it's kind of like hidden in the transmission. If anything, I'll show you guys, you know, where it was. But anyways, and at the end of the day, when you figure it out, it was actually pretty easy. So so pretty much the next step that I got going is gonna be the motor mounts, which is gonna be over here, and the other one's over there. It's a V6, so there's only 2 of them. You want to just pull out the ones that are across or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, diagonal. So you just want to loosen them, and then we're gonna get the plate or the chain, not sure yet. We're gonna take some pressure off the engine and then slide the screws out. Alright, now let me show you what's going on in the bottom. Let me try to think if there's anything else I can tell you right here. So yeah, just make sure everything's unplugged, nothing's connected to the car, wires, grounds, all that stuff. I just put all the wiring to the side. Some of it's probably most likely not going to be used. So let's go under the car. Alright. So, as you can see, the shaft is completely out. It was 4 screws I had explained earlier. You just pull that right out. It's kind of, I had to use the hammer and kind of get it to budge because it's so old, probably never been taken out. Alright, now, right, okay, let me see. Okay, this is a transmission. You kind of go a little lower, and there's a bolt that was right here. You got to unscrew that, and we're going to bring the lifting thingy, and we're going to go ahead and just put it here, or somewhere around here. We're going to just lift it so that it goes above this hole, and then the cherry picker is going to be lifting up the engine at the same time, so we can just slide it out. So hopefully it all works out. It's about to happen pretty soon, probably in a little bit. What else did I do? You want to unscrew like the muffler. I already had explained all that. So that's pretty much it, and I think we're gonna be taking it out pretty damn soon. Alright, so we back. I already, you know, explained what I had done earlier. So my boy came through. What up? Just got off of work, and I guess we are gonna pull it out today. We had a plate, but where's the plate at? Right here, guard. But unfortunately, the holes don't fit the carburetor holes or whatever. Manifold holes. So we're gonna have to resort to a chain, which is right here. And what we're gonna do is
fucking pull it out.
Yeah. But yeah, so we just put the holes. I mean, we just used the holes that were for the what?
The intake manifold.
Oh yeah.
We're using these. Man, we're straight Mickey Mousing right now because we don't have even the right bolts to use for the chain. But we found these fucking
whatever they're for.
Fucking fence bolts and shit, and we're gonna use a washer on the other side, run the bolt down, and then tie the nut. That way it'll tie the chain down. Mickey Mouse, but it'll work. Yep. Good job. That's what happens In the hood, keeping it hood.
So that's what we're gonna do. I gotta take the bonnet off or the hood or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna do that right now, and we'll get back to you guys. Thanks. All right. So what you're gonna want to do is you want to lower the car so that the cherry picker has space to lift the engine. Also, what my pal's doing right now is he's putting the jack under the transmission so that you can lift it just about an inch and a half, because there's a bolt that you need to clear. And
we're gonna have to cut off part of the exhaust clamp.
And so we can lift the transmission while we lift the engine, and we pull it all out. All right, so we got the engine out pretty much. I'm filming. You're probably like, what the hell? But all right. You want to do a little recap?
Yeah, we pretty much from the last video we left off, the whole thing was loose already. All we had to do is hoist it up. In other words, pick it up and get it out. As you can see, the engine bay.
Alright, so this is gonna be the ending of part 2. Took a little long because been busy, but yeah, so there goes the V6 completely out. We had to use some screws or whatever. I think we already talked about that. Yeah, so on the next chapter I'm gonna show you what you're not gonna need. And let me see what else. Oh, I had to go to the junkyard to go and pick up some of these two, because since it was a V6 you need V8 clamps. So we got those already. And we needed a pulley from a 90 something Camaro. You're gonna need this. That's to clear the screw.